Oh, good morning. Braden Haanen. Made it into work okay. Roads were awful. But we're here. We are here. We made it. Here we are. I was going to change this because when I got here it wasn't morning anymore, but I guess technically it is a morning weather chat, so here we are. I didn't measure my house, but I would say we're close to probably around 5 or 6 inches. I did not take Interstate 65 up. What's up, Amy? Adam, thank you, sir. Still on the ground in Monrovia. Well, hang in there. Hey, Nicole. Good to have you guys along. What's up, Angie? Janice, welcome. Good to have you guys all along. We are also streaming on the YouTubes. See a couple of you on there. I'll check that chat. What's up, Harley? Good to see you, Cuzzo. All right. Let's do this, shall we? Let's go ahead and we'll just kind of go over some things. Numbers are kind of slow to come in. I don't know if... Bear with me. I have not touched anything since I walked in. I just loaded up the computer. Ashley was here, so we were chatting. So I'm going to be kind of doing some of the stuff on the fly. I didn't get a lot of sleep, Susan, but I mean, that just comes with the territory. I'll be all right. Kids are out of school. School's off for the kiddos, so my wife actually gets to go in late for work, so, you know, knock on wood, I don't have anything that's going to be too pressing that I'd have to stay late today, and I can go home and take a nap, which would be fine. Luckily, these days are fun. Like, these are the days that we live for, right? But I'm glad that they're few and far between. What do I want to do here? Let's do... I don't know how well this is going to... That's not what I want. That's terrible. That's terrible, too. That is the local one. Let me see here. I'm just playing around with some stuff. Bear with me, gang. I don't think this is going to be what I want to use. Let's see. What is my machine saying here? I don't know if that's right or not. It might be close. I know we got more than one. I don't know if we gotten over a foot down around Seymour. Anybody down there in Bedford and Seymour? Any of you watching us from here? Hey, Audrey. Shelly, thank you. I miss Peoria. I mean, it's good to be home, but I think about Peoria a lot. Hey, Sally. Thanks for checking in to Muncie. Braden, I'm going to refrain from talking any Colts news because I'm officially in a work capacity. I'm now on the clock, and so as a respected member of the weather team at Storm Track 8 and not of the sports department, I will reserve my comments for another time. 5 inches in Brownsburg. Mary Lynn. Denver, you got up to a foot there? Hey, thanks, Tony from Kokomo. Last check was 11 in Seymour. All right, Billy. Thank you. All right, Robin. Good checking in. Misty, what's going on? Good to have all you guys on board here. There's a lot of you. There's a lot more than I thought were going to be. About 4 in Bainbridge. Amber in Nashville. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, let's do this. This is what I want to do. Let's start off with where we're at right now. All right, so here's the radar view. Heaviest snow, and we talked about this if you guys have been on my Facebook Lives, it was going to be right along the switchover line, right? So that is basically Greene County, southern Monroe. That's kind of on the county line of Monroe and Lawrence County, and then Jackson, the Jackson County line along with Brown and Bartholomew, and then right through the middle of Jennings, southern end of Ripley. So they're getting some sleet, some freezing rain down south. I know it's been. What's up, Jason? Gina, Sandy. So we still got some pretty good rates of snow that are falling down. I think we're probably through, for most of central Indiana, we're through the worst of it. Let me show you kind of the big picture here. Now, that said, and again, another point that I made, we don't have that moisture supply anymore, right? The heaviest part of our snow system was going to come straight up from that stream of moisture coming in from the Gulf. So that's now pushed into southern Ohio. West Virginia is going to get hit, and probably within the next 4 to 5 hours, you're probably looking at like the nation's capital and stuff like that. So what we get now for the remainder of the day, and I think it's probably, okay, so it's midnight now. I think probably between now, the next 12 to 15 hours is likely going to be this. And so this is what we call the deformation zone, if you will, or bands. It's the back end of this low. The low is essentially kind of like down here, all right, and moving that way, and everything goes counterclockwise and in around a low pressure center, okay? So everything's kind of going that way, and so we're getting the cold air wrapping around. This is gonna be more fine powdery snow. I know it wasn't a real heavy wet snow, but I mean, it's still pretty thick. Now it's going to be this really light snow. We could get kind of an additional maybe inch or so out of this. So, what's up, Georgie? All right, Travis from Spencer, Misty, and Connorsville. Let me show you guys. That's not what I want. Dude, what are we doing? Okay. Stand by. Because I don't have like the snow totals on this, but I can. Let's see. Put it on weather.gov/. EIND equals IND. Oh, that's not what did I do wrong? Weather.gov source C H snowmap. Huh. Didn't get it to work. All right. Well, we'll try that again a little bit later. But I did want to show you guys some. I can at least blurt them out. Some of the higher numbers I had a 6.2. A couple of them on the northwest side, Meridian Hills neighborhood and Eagle Creek. I have a 5-inch report in Homecroft. Franklin, 5 inches, but that was at 7 o'clock. Some of these are old, so I would expect that these are going to be a little bit higher. Yeah, like I don't have a ton. I had 6 inches down in McKinley, so that's like just southwest. That's southwest of Seymour. So I'm hoping that the Weather Service will start kind of catching up here a little bit and So yeah, I don't have any like real fresh totals for you guys. I wish I did. You know, I don't know how great this. You know that this is our local estimation. This is radar estimated. It does all right. It's not perfect. Judging from what I've been seeing, centimeters. What is no? That's hilarious. All right. I mean, that's got like 10 near Seymour, Columbus at around 8, Bloomington around 8. This is saying Martinsville's close to 6. I'd say these are pretty close. I mean, I lived down in Johnson County. It was probably between 4 and 6. I think that's pretty close. You know, I don't know. Might be all right up at. I know you guys haven't had much up north, so morning rush hour will be a mess. Yeah, I think so. Braden, not great. Not awesome. I did not take the interstate, honestly. I took, since I live down in Johnson County, I actually took 135 up. And it wasn't terrible, but click on Mitchell. All right. Asking you shall receive. This is guesstimating that Mitchell's at 15. What would you think on that, Greg? Is that right? I'm guessing you live there. Newcastle. Let's see. And now again, guys, this is unofficial. This is radar indicated. So it could be way off. Okay. What's up, Diana from Monrovia? 5 inches in Richmond. All right. So maybe this is doing okay. This is saying 6. So appreciate all you guys jumping on board. Man, there's a lot of you here that are up late. I appreciate it. Well, I was trying to finish my point, I think. Obviously, you know, me driving in, I left at 10:45. It usually is about a 20 to 25 20 to 25 minute drive on a quiet morning for me. It took me about 45 minutes. I will say that obviously it's a lot easier for me to drive. There was barely any people on the road. I mean, it was mainly, it looked like it was, you know, there was some city and state trucks that were out plowing the roads, and then obviously, yeah, city and state, and then really there was like a ton of probably private contracting snow men and women that were out clearing businesses and residential. So yeah. Anyway. I'm tired, Michael. I try not to drink too much coffee, even especially like you would think that I'd probably need to drink more, but if I drink too much, I'm gonna get the jitters. There's like too much stuff going on, so I'll just try to fight through it. Thank you, Kirk. Yep, it was a slow drive, but it was a safe commute. You know what? Let's do this. Let's go ahead and check the traffic out. Give it a second. It'll take a second for it to load the data. We'll go full. Johnson County and Bartholomew County are in the red travel warning. Yeah. You know what? That's a good call. Let's do that. I'm going to pull that up. Indiana Travel Advisory Map. VHS map. There we go. Yep. So we can do this while the traffic thing is loading. Got it? What are we doing here? Okay. We'll pull that up for you guys. Split it. Oh, let's go full screen. Let's move my ugly mug out of the way. Let's go over here. Here we go. All right. There it is. Travel advisory map. So there's Marion. Marion is in the advisory. In terms of the donut county, Shelby, Hancock, Hamilton, Hendricks are under a watch. And then the warnings are the highest level. That's Morgan and Johnson. Okay. Crazy snow in Castleton. 6 inches in Fishers. Thank you, John. I hope it played out well for you, Georgie. Oh boy. So the winds are going to be kind of the big. Pat, that is true. It's been it'll be 10 years that I've been at Wish TV. So. Karen, I appreciate that. Gloria, I've gotten 2 travel watches for Morgan County tonight to stay off roads. 6 in Shelbyville. So the winds are... What's up?
Hey, I was just...
I'm going to be on Facebook Live for a while, so hang on, guys. What's up? All right. Okay, let's talk. So that's the current situation on the traffic front. Good night for White Castle. Ugh. I'm not dogging White Castle. I had a bad experience when I was a kid. I got pretty sick. Oh, winds. I keep getting sidetracked. Sorry. Winds are going to pick up probably like 35 to 40 for the rest of the overnight and probably through the morning drive. Possibly with the snow as the storm continues in the morning hours in Richmond. There might be a little bit of a mix, like a back and forth, Mary, but I think it's going to be pretty light. The rest of the overnight and leading into the morning drive, we should should kind of like taper the snow down. I don't know if we're going to get like a lot more accumulation, to be honest. I haven't really looked at some of the projections. I need to double check my YouTube stream. What happened here? Why did it go away? I think we're still going live. I didn't see if anybody's in the chat. All right, there's a couple of you on YouTube. So as of right now, at least, though, there's nothing. There's no interstate shutdowns, thankfully, or anything like that. Let me do this. I need to look at. I'll probably stay on. I can probably stay on through like 1:30, and then I actually have to do like some real work and not just be a chatty Cathy. Let's see. Snowfall, just in terms of additional snow. I mean, it's going to be relatively light for the most part. The recent model trends are saying what? I mean, maybe a couple more inches. This is already kind of starting us off. Yeah, I'd say maybe another inch, 2, possibly. I'd say better chances for like maybe more significant accumulation between now and daybreak is probably going to be in southeastern Indiana. YouTube, I got you. Hang on. I saw somebody. I'll post the link. Where is it? My computer's being a little slow, gang, sorry. YouTube. Is that right? Snowing heavily in Columbus. Thank you, Russell. I see you on YouTube. Much appreciated. This is what I want here. That's the right one. All right, there we go. YouTube. I just posted the stream there. I dozed off. See you, Georgie. Thanks for dropping in, man. My sleeping gear? No, this is my actual shift. This is me starting my workday. 27 acres of parking lots in the morning. It's a lot. I use the leaf blower to clear your driveway. I mean, listen. No problem. I always appreciate the YouTube love. I'm trying to do a little bit more on that, so. Thank you, Michael. I see you on the YouTubes. Much appreciated. Oh, let's see. What else can we look at here, gang? Let me, so the roads, not great. Let me pull up some weather graphics here. Let's do, I gotta load up some of this stuff here, so stand by. So yeah, a lot of things are canceled. Notice there's a ton of schools. Thank you. Appreciate it. What time are you going to be live on news this morning? I'll be 4 a.m. Kirk, it's when we start. 4 a.m. 444. All right. Let me pull up a few graphics and then I'll walk you through the rest of the forecast here. I'll pull the old HRRR up. I think it's probably doing a decent job. And all right, stand by, guys. Sorry, I'm doing stuff on the fly. Still trying to wake up, too. I had a moment where I fell asleep last night. And right when I fell asleep, I heard all of my kids cheering in unison. And then, of course, I looked over at my cell phone, and that was the text message that school was canceled tomorrow. So they woke me up briefly. Okay, let's do this. Oh, one more graphic, and then I'll flip it back over here. Because I wanted to show the winds. How do I want to do this? Could do this, and wind gusts. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, so let me walk you through the rest of the day here, and then if you guys have any questions, we can just chat it up. It was partly sunny and 69 degrees in the town I'm moving to in a couple weeks. Wow. That sounds nice. That's true. You need one good one. Well, I don't want to dive in too far, but there's some rumblings of maybe late this week of another snow system. I don't know if it'll be like this one, but there might be a little bit more snow on the way next Friday. So, not going to dive in deep. I haven't actually, honestly, looked at anything since yesterday morning, so a lot may have changed. All right, let's go. All right, Futurecast. So, what I kind of mentioned earlier is, you know, this area down here, all right, southeastern Indiana, probably has the best chance for more significant accumulation over the next couple of hours. I think what we're going to see around central Indiana, it will still be consistent snow, but it will continue to lighten up. All right, so this is going into 5 o'clock. That's not super heavy. There might be a little bit of freezing drizzle, Bloomington, Nashville, Columbus. Probably still snowing around 8 or 9 o'clock for those of you that are going into work in the morning. I think most of our snowfall should be done, pardon me, around noon. All right, so, yeah. In terms of additional snowfall, all right, I mean, this is already starting us off, so let's do the math. It already, now, this isn't what the total is, but it does start us off at like a base of 1.3, possibly another inch. Where were you guys at down like around Columbus? You guys may get another couple of inches or so. We'll see. Shelbyville, maybe a couple of inches, maybe 2 to 3 down around Columbus. Greensburg, Rushville. I really think like Connorsville, Brookville, Batesville. Decent chance you might get an additional 2 to 4 inches. Okay. Rushville, you might be in that kind of 1 to 2 inch range between now and lunchtime over the next 12 hours or so. Maybe 3. Okay. Maybe 3 on the high end. I saw someone, David, asked about Rushville, so. Wow, brother-in-law has property in Brazil. Like not Indiana, Brazil, South America. Solid. That's pretty nice. Okay, winds. I know some of you have been asking about this. So these are going to be your gusts. And this is through the overnight, so it's already kind of picking up right now. And that's going to be continuing, you know, this is through 6 a.m., 35 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts, I think. And they're going to be kind of like northwest, maybe. Throw on the wind velocities here, surface. Yeah, so like out of the north and northeast, I should say. North and northeast. It does kind of ease a little bit through lunchtime and then later in the afternoon. 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts, but it's still going to be pretty blustery all day long. So watch the east-west roads, okay? Those are the ones where, you know, if they're plowing it, it's going to blow right back over if you're kind of in a wide open area, so. What else, gang? Man, I got a bunch of you. Followed you through the Facebook link. Fantastic. Thank you. Jeff, lots of blowing and drifting. I-70 Harding exit is really slick. West Lafayette by tomorrow night. I don't think there's going to be much by tomorrow night in West Lafayette. I don't think they had a whole lot. So that's basically all I have for you guys. You know, like I said, I think we're through the worst of the snow accumulations for now. Greenfield gonna get some more. Yeah, Sylvia, I think so. Yeah, Kim, I mean, you guys were on that borderline. I said it was gonna be a pretty sharp cutoff. Pretty sharp cutoff. You don't go far to the south, Kim, and it's several inches. So there's got to be a stopping point at some point, a hard line. Oh, it's my pleasure, Job. Job. When would we know the total amount after the snow stops? I mean, hopefully fairly quickly. The Weather Service goes out and measures pretty frequently. I don't know if they've been out recently or not. Do I have what is that tool? What is it? Slack, there it is. Let me see if they've got some new ones. I've got you know, they don't have a lot of new ones. I haven't seen them jump out. Usually they'll go out and measure and then update us, but I don't think they have for a while. You might sneeze, hang on. A few things coming in. EMA out of Morgan County, ranging anywhere between 7 to 12 inches. I don't know where the highest number is. Yorktown has 1.7 inches, so that's up by Muncie, so not much. Yeah, I don't have any updates from Indianapolis, but I would assume, you know, they're supposed to be out there pretty consistent measuring. And they do. They just may not report it to all of us, unfortunately. Hey, happy to do it, Christopher. My man. Bloomington, crazy snow and ice stuff down in Bloomington. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, hit pretty hard. What's the ice total going to look like? I haven't had a lot of reports of that. I mean, my system can kind of pick up on that. What's the U.S.? Do I have like a local radar version of that? Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't have the Louisville. I mean, this is saying about a half an inch. I think they've gotten more than this. I know down around Evansville, it's been pretty rough. I haven't looked at, because my worry down there was going to be, I mean, this is road conditions. So red indicates that there's some ice. All right. And then patchy ice in the pink. What was I going to look at? Oh, I know what it was. So what I was going to be concerned with, yeah, I see Evansville. So we got some power outages. It's about 24,000 without power in, what is that, Vandenberg County, I think, is what Evansville is. Is that right? So that's the big one, but it looks like even some of the surroundings, 5,000, 8,000, 7,500 surrounding counties around Evansville. So that's ice. That's straight up ice that probably did that. 3.5 in Middletown in Henry County. Thank you. So yeah, I haven't seen official measurements of ice. I can look. Let me see what. 7 inches in Columbus. All right. So, I mean, probably, close to 9, 10. And you guys were going to be in the bullseye down in Columbus. So that was going to be the concern. There was that very narrow swath where double digits were going to be, I think, within reach for you guys. Let's see here. Oh, did get some new reports coming in. No, that's not new. Why is it just not showing up? 6.6 inches around Southport, southeast side. I think some of these numbers are still low. You have to keep in mind too, like, we don't get numbers unless people go out in their backyard or wherever and measure. And the Weather Service has kind of like a protocol. Susan, my friend at Evansville, has definitely told me about terrible ice down there. She had power, but knew several that didn't. Makes sense. Maria, I don't have, so when you guys are asking about totals, I mean, I'll give you the numbers that I'm given, but I don't have like some magic button in here that like tells me the totals come from you guys going out and measuring and then reporting it to the Weather Service or us. I wish I was able to just easily being able to pick that up, but we haven't had a report down from North Vernon. I'd assume, just judging on from what some of the reports down there have been, that you're probably getting close to like that 8 to 10 range down there. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was, let me go back to the radar here. So I want to check the Evansville chat room real quick. See what they're talking about. Ice. Here we go. Right now, the Weather Service, so the Paducah, Kentucky covers Evansville. And this was at 10:51 p.m. They reported a half an inch, which, I mean, listen, that's significant. So that's a good amount of ice. I was worried that we were going to see a lot more than that, like getting closer to like a half an inch to an inch. That would have been crippling. That would have been real bad. Real bad. Yep, bitter cold weather. Appreciate all you guys jumping on here, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. I think we're fading here a little bit. Not as many people on. That's fine. It's late. I appreciate the... I always appreciate just if there's a few of you on, so... Mention rumblings of another storm this weekend with the temps this week. Chance of serious condition. Temps are not. I haven't updated the forecast, but I do obviously trust the weather team, and they had the overnight shift, so I'll probably only make some minor adjustments. That is not what I want. Bing, bing, bing. And that. All right. So there's the numbers that we're going with here. Let's get my ugly mug out of the way. Full screen. Pretty chilly today and tomorrow, upper 20s. And that AM snow for Tuesday, I just haven't updated that yet. The text is wrong, but the icons are right. So Tuesday it's dry, 28. Wednesday cold, 22. I think both Wednesday and Thursday morning we're gonna have lows in the single digits, probably close to 0. And then Friday and Saturday, right now, is another snow system. So. Oh, Susan, I'm actually working this I just started my shift. So we're good. I got a little bit of sleep. I went to sleep. For whatever reason, I punished myself and stayed up to watch the end of the Colts game. That went into overtime. And then I kind of dozed off for a little bit, and then I'm in here. I got up around 10 p.m. So... And then I'll be here till about 10 a.m. probably. Could be worse. Were there any last minute surprises with this storm? It seemed like a tricky one to predict. A little bit, Mary. I'd say on the north end, if you've seen anybody, if they've come in from Kokomo or Muncie or Marion or Lafayette, they're like, where's our snow? There was a really sharp cutoff from north to south, and that was where we kind of knew that was going to happen, but we didn't know exactly where that sharp cutoff was going to be. I thought it could have been, it could have been way north of Kokomo, and everybody gets a decent amount of snow. And initially, the thumping band of snow looks like it's been probably down around Bloomington, Bedford, Seymour, Nashville, Columbus. I think those are going to be the highest numbers when it's all said and done in terms of snowfall. Initially, when we were looking at this, it actually had I-70, so Indy was squarely in that. So obviously the trend was shifting south a little bit. Ice was a little bit of a concern early on looking into this, but we felt pretty confident that at least around the metro area it wasn't going to be as much of a factor. What else? I think one thing, and I mentioned this in my Facebook Live, and I think those of you that follow social media, and again, I'm not going to call anybody specifically out, but it happens every significant snowstorm that we get, is people just post the raw model data. And there's a lot more that needs to go into that. And I think one thing that I didn't do a good job of probably communicating was that I think the models had a tough time grasping how cold or not cold the air was going to be. I think the snowfall ratios were too high on the models, and that's where you got a lot of the high numbers. I think the 10 inches was fine in that very narrow area. So there was definitely enough energy, but I don't think we were ever going to get. I kind of started seeing that late, that we weren't ever going to be cold enough to get the snowfall ratios down enough to get. Some of the model data that some of these social media sites that post all the time and get tons of shares, it was saying 18, 20, 25, and I don't think that was ever going to be in the realm of possibility, ever. And the reason why, it was a snowfall ratio rate. So, those were I know that was kind of a long-winded answer, but that was kind of, those were the challenges with this one. Robin Dale, Hagerstown, 4 inches, thank you. Aunt Marianne, 11 p.m. Our friend in Evansville said they had 6 inches of snow with ice on top. Still had electric. Well, that's good. Well, I appreciate that, Susan. And listen, I can't control what goes on social media. Is it can be the wild, wild west sometimes. And so I know people have options, and I can only control what I can control. So, I do this because I enjoy it. I'm not getting extra money for jumping on Facebook Live. I enjoy jumping on with you guys. I feel like I have a good group that always kind of comes on my Facebook Lives and asks good questions and good feedback and all that other stuff. So, but in the same regard, me being the weather nerd when I was a kid, if Facebook and YouTube and all of this available on the internet was accessible to me as a 16-year-old, 18-year-old kid, I don't know if I would have known any better to not act any differently. I always wanted to play TV when I was like a 16-year-old kid. And that kind of stuff wasn't around. Now it's like you can just jump, like look at me now. I'm jumping on and I can Facebook Live on my own channel. I have my own random channel on YouTube and Facebook. I probably would have went wild with that when I was a kid. So listen, I don't fault some of these kids. There's adults that maybe should know better, but look, people get excited about the weather. I get it. I do too. Like, it is what it is. Anyway, I could go on and rant and whatever for days, but at the end of the day, like, nothing will change. And, I got to just, like, some of us just got to kind of do what we do. What else we got here, gang? I'll probably shut it down here in the next 9 minutes or so. So I do have a question. Do you think? Listen, I'm not going to call anybody out. It's not my job to judge anybody. I make enough mistakes that I can only really judge myself. I can explain why I think it's, and I don't think one group or person is, I'm not going to single anybody out. This last week, I went on my work Facebook page on my phone, on my app. I don't do that a lot. It scrolled the timeline. And, you guys know Facebook now. It's like I'm seeing pages that I don't follow or whatever. But I'm seeing these groups. It's like severe spotters of, whatever. I don't know. It's just like there's a million of them out there, and there's just a lot, and those get shared. That's the society we live in. I think people just get juiced for worst case scenario type of thing, and that's not just weather. I think that's news, whatever. But listen, some people play the game and they go for the clicks. So that's all I'll say about that. Well, the problem is, Phil, and here's where I, like I said, there's nothing I can do about it. But where the problem is I'll start getting some messages at some point during the day today and say, you guys said that we were going to get 2 feet of snow. And I never said. You could go down my timeline. I think the problem is weather enthusiasts and meteorologists, whatever, as an entire group, and I'm including all of the TV station meteorologists and now social media people, are all grouped into one. And I'd say, I'm not everybody, but I can't tell you how many times I ever get messages like, well, they're saying we're going to get 2 feet of snow this weekend. Well, who is they? If you follow my page, I never said we were going to get 2 feet. In fact, I was kind of tentative of even saying we were going to see a foot of snow in a large swath. I think we were going to be really hard pressed to get there. So that's kind of where we're at there too. So that makes things a little bit more difficult too. Thank you, Dan. Hello, Rita. So yeah, that's my rant. I love the job. I love the challenges of it. I know, listen, these kind of groups have been around since I've started nearly 20 years ago. They're not going to go away. So the best that I can do is just be honest, open, and some people are going to like my forecast and some people won't. And that's how it's been on TV since I've been working. There's going to be some people that are going to change the channel. They don't want to see my ugly mug on there. They're going to move on. So I think, social media is going to work the same way. Just how it goes. I hear there's a state of emergency in Evansville. I don't know. I'll have to check with the newsroom on that. I have not seen that. But I'm not going to refute that. It is definitely possible. Checking my emails real quick. I feel like I read before I fell asleep last night, like that the governor had issued maybe a state of emergency for the state. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe I dreamed that. Oh, that's the wrong mail app. All right. I don't see any. I don't have. Oh, here we go. Evansville Mayor Stephanie Terry and the Vanderburgh County Commissioners have declared a joint state of emergency in Evansville and Vanderburgh County, expected to last until noon tomorrow, so Monday. The effect of the declaration is to activate the response and recovery aspects of all applicable city and county disaster emergency plans, authorize the furnishing of aid and assistance. Pursuant to that, declare a warning, the highest level of local travel advisory, during which travel may be restricted to emergency management workers only, yada yada. So, yes, you are correct. Chris, I think that's possible. I don't know, 3 to 5. I was thinking maybe 1 to 3. But I think in Columbus you could get another. You could get a few more inches. Which again, that puts you kind of squarely in that we said that there was going to be a narrow band that could be in the 10 plus range, and Columbus was squarely in that. So. No, Susan, we can't be responsible. I'm for obviously creating the weather. But I think there are, I know there's always the running joke of us missing forecasts, and I think, fair or not fair. But the technology has improved drastically over the last, just since I've been starting working, 20 years, but certainly since I started pay attention to weather back in the days of Stan Wood, 40 years ago. It's a lot different now, but I think that there's still some things that, I could go on a really long rant about all of this. But there's some things that we've adjusted well to as an industry. And there's some things I think we need to be more impact driven and stop focusing on, exact snowfall amounts. Because again, I've made several comments before about, this is obviously a high impact storm, but, if you're going with just kind of a, not a hard hit, but something that could be disruptive. I think a 4-inch snow that happens at 10 p.m. on a Sunday, but is done by 1 a.m. is going to be less impactful than a 1-inch snow that happens at 4 p.m. on a Friday. So everybody always gets worked up about numbers, but Chris, I'm a first responder and just went on a run. It's a mess on all roads. No doubt. Chris, thank you for what you do, first of all. My drive-in was not awesome. Thankfully, because I came in so late, there's nobody on the road, so it's I could just drive right down the middle. I think there was only 2 trucks that I was with at any given time, and I just kind of nudged over. They were, I think, private contractors that were going out to probably plow down some parking lots or some residential areas, so. Stan Wood, I know. Never met the man. I was always kind of disappointed about that. I was a big fan when I was a kid. Stan the Weatherman. All right, what else do we got, gang? I know we're kind of winding down. I'm ranting now. We're just kind of whatever. 7 inches in Greenwood. Seems right. And we might get it another inch down there. Shelbyville, I hope this is almost over. I just woke up. How much more of this? Shelbyville, you may get another inch or 2. Is that Dean? Yeah. My YouTube chat is not working well. I apologize, any of you that are hitting up the chat. I see a few of you still on there. Up to an hour. I've been doing some long Facebook Lives. I'm enjoying it, though. I'm glad that you guys jump on and chat. Hey, no problem. Hey, what's up, cuz? Kristen's up early. Let me see. Check with the weather service if we got any new updates. Maybe. Oh, I can't do that. I still got a long way to go. This is about what time I would usually be waking up on a normal work day. My alarm usually goes off around 1 in the morning. Oh, boy. I had about a 25-minute drive. I'm down in Johnson County. So, thank you, Susan. I appreciate you, too. Susie, I'm just here now. Is it over? The heavy stuff, for the most... Where are you at, Susie? Kind of depends on where you're at. So there are several employees actually, and I mean, I think a few people came in early, and there were a few more people. Like Ashley was here when I walked in, our chief meteorologist. And she doesn't usually work Sunday night, so obviously it's kind of a special occasion. But down in the newsroom, so I'm in the studio by myself. Like, I know it looks weird because the lights are all off, but my weather center is back behind me here. The anchor desk is right over here. You can see one of the TV cameras right here. The newsroom's on the other side of the building. We have producers that, I mean, on a normal, non-busy weather or news day, I think a couple of them show up around 9 or 10 p.m. to get ready for the daybreak show that starts at 4 a.m. So we have 3 producers that because we go on for 6 hours, so they're each responsible for 2 hours. So we do have some people in the building. We've got, I think there's somebody that's at the web desk listening to scanners right now. You know, I'm sure there's probably a lot of traffic issues basically. But they always are listening for breaking news, taking phone calls. Then we have our executive producer who's in charge of our entire daybreak show, and then the producers that handle the show. I think we do have at least one photog in right now, and then they kind of start trickling in a little bit later. And like Tara and I, obviously, we kind of tag team the weather during the week. She's usually in around 4. I think she texted me she's gonna be in like at 3, just because we'll be hitting traffic pretty hard. So yeah, but there's always people in here. I can hear the wind more here now at Bloomington, or just a moment. Susan, it's going to be a probably the rest of the overnight thing. Gusts 35 to 40 will be common. Did we have any thunder snow reports? I don't think in our area we did. I can actually go back. Let's see. Let's do this. We do have lightning on. Let's, for fun, we'll go back the last 6 hours, see if we get any lightning strikes in the state. I know that there was thunder snow in like Kansas City. Yeah, I don't think so. Let me go back a little bit farther. Does not appear that we had any thunder snow. Mist is just to the south. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. All right. I think I'm probably going to wrap it up here, guys. It's late. I need to go talk to my coworkers downstairs so we can game plan about how the show's going to look. Okay, Susie, there you go. Broad Ripple. Maybe an inch. 2 would be probably high end. But I don't think you get much more than an inch or 2 additionally, Susie. We're kind of getting close to the end of the consistent snow. You can see it kind of, hang on. I don't want to look at the last, let's do this. I mean, you're kind of seeing it slow down a lot, right? Now there's still a decent amount of snow here that's kind of wrapping around this way, and there's still some decent bands there, but you're not going to get a ton of accumulation there. I think where you're probably going to see more significant additional accumulation is basically right in this area here. Okay? This could be another 1 to 3 plus maybe additionally. Thank you. I appreciate it. What do I do before I go on at 4? So on a normal day, I get here between, just depending, 2 and 2:30. I actually get ready. First thing I do when I get here, get my tie. Like, I don't have my tie on or anything like that. Like, I just have my dress shirt on. Get ready. I get all hooked up. I have like a wireless IFB, so I have to like hook this thing on under my shirt. So anyway, I do that. I actually do the forecast. So I have like a forecast sheet. I go through all the models. Basically like what I do when I do these Facebook Lives with you guys, I run through a lot of the model runs and everything else. And then I get my graphics going. Have to write the blog. I do some radio stuff. I have to put closed captioning in. So once I get all that stuff done, it's usually about 3:50, and then we go on the air about 4. So I got about 10 minutes where I can do some last minute things before I go on the air. So glad there's a fluffy snow instead of the wet stuff. Still, I think we got 7 inches in Castleton. Well, thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. Thanks for checking in. How much longer do you think the snow will last for portions of east central Indiana? Oh, several more hours. Several more hours. I think, look, we're not done with snow. Like, this isn't like the heavy stuff is probably done. But I think it's going to snow over most of central Indiana intermittently between now and probably 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. Do you have time to eat? Yes. I do. So I usually make like a protein shake right when I first get in. It's got a cup of coffee in it too, so I can get a little jolt before the show goes. And then Tara and I flip-flop weather and traffic at 7 o'clock. And so I usually will have I have a breakfast sandwich that I'll nuke at 7 when we make that switch. Because I get kind of a little bit of a downtime. So I might have to take an additional break just since I got here like 3 hours earlier than I usually do. So. Oh. What else? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Braden. Yeah, I think I'll probably wrap it up here. I don't have a lot of new info for you guys, so. Facebook Lives this week, we'll see. I'll post like I did the last couple of times. I think that did well, that some of you guys saw that I was gonna go live at midnight, and I think I did that earlier in the day on Sunday. If we get another system coming in here for the weekend, we'll do some lives during the week. But I probably won't do any more lives the rest of the day. All right? Unless something crazy goes on. But we'll probably shut it down so I can get a little rest later on this afternoon. So, but thank you guys. I know we did a lot this weekend. I appreciate all of you, the likes, the shares, the comments, just listen to me rant and ramble. I think I had all 3 of these Facebook Lives, I think all went over an hour or went darn near close. Longest one I had was an hour and a half. Not bad for the weekend. So I appreciate you guys. Yeah, if you have to travel, be safe. All right, take it easy. Hopefully, the plow drivers are going to be out in full force, but they're still kind of fighting a losing battle a little bit here. So it's going to be a tough go of it in the morning. So just take it easy, be safe, and take care. And hopefully we will talk to you soon. Okay? Have a good day. Appreciate you guys. God bless you.